Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Theo.
And it's Say. So today we're back to finish, well, probably not finish up this whole video, but before, probably like a couple weeks ago, we had did the America's Living Abroad. First time you realize America really messed you up. Mm-hmm. We probably got like 3 or 4 minutes into it, so we figured we'd do a little bit today in hopes of like finishing the video sometime this week.
Hopefully we'll finish it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll finish probably sometime this week.
Yeah.
So you want to go ahead and jump into it?
Let's do it.
Okay. Full screen.
Living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really...
So I didn't realize this until I moved abroad, but Americans have a very strange concept of freedom. Like, when you're growing up, you're always told that America is such an amazing place and, you know, it's the land of the free, home of the brave, but like, I keep hearing these criticisms from people like, oh yeah, but America has the most freedom. Wow, yeah, freedom. I mean, there may be a few exceptions or nuances, but in the UK, you're still free. Like, that is the biggest lie that Americans are ever told, that there aren't other free places. Like, I don't understand. And if I'm being perfectly honest, I feel like the concept is kind of destroying American democracy. How ironic. Like, they need to kind of understand that they need to work on things to make themselves better and more free for their citizens.
American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Okay, so I'm not currently living abroad, but I did live in Australia for a few months. And one night while I was there, I got a little bit too crazy and I ended up on public transportation without a phone. And I had to find my way back to my apartment and I got lost. And while I got off the tram to get onto a different tram to take me home, a middle-aged gentleman came up to me and I immediately went into attack mode and I was like going to kill him. And he was like, no, I was just gonna tell you which tram to take to get back to Preston. And that was when I realized that in Australia, I didn't need to be afraid. Like, granted, take precautions, but I didn't need to be afraid of every man. But in America, I still am.
If you're an American currently living abroad, what is one time...
I don't know about...
Yeah, I was like... Yeah, I don't think she used the right term. I feel like what... Because she's right. I feel like you need to be aware in any circumstances. But it's like, I feel like here in America, you could be somewhat trusting that somebody is actually going to help you like in the right direction until they give you a reason not to.
Yeah.
So
it might just be the people she hang around with, or she just wanted to put something in the video. But I don't know. I just think she's irresponsible anyway. Talking about that's just me. I be thinking I couldn't just get too like drunk and crazy, especially in a unfamiliar country. Mm-hmm. I mean, unfamiliar city either, but I'm just saying, you know.
And especially if you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Like you gotta have somebody with you. That's for anywhere you go. Mm-hmm. Like, especially if you're gonna be drinking and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Asking for a Taken movie.
Did you realize that America...
So, I don't live abroad anymore, but for half of 2018, I lived in Germany, and I have so many stories. The town that I lived in had like a main plaza area and there was a cafe in that plaza, so a couple of my other American friends and I decided to try it out one day, and there was a construction site nearby. We heard a really loud bang and, you know, kind of assumed that someone had fired a gun, and so we like ducked for cover and then we were looking around frantically trying to find like a place that we could run to or hide to get out of the situation, and then we realized that no one had shot a gun. No, it was a loud bang from the construction site. That's it. That's all it was. We'd been speaking in English and we all have really obvious American accents, so all the Germans around us gave us these really sad looks like, oh, these poor Americans.
An American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Okay, so I moved to Sweden. And when I got here, I wasn't feeling too well, so I went to the doctor, and the doctor recommended that I get an EKG, an electrocardiogram. Now, instead of worrying about my health, my first reaction was, I'm sorry, I don't know if I can get one of those, because I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it. And this sweet little man, this sweet, amazing doctor goes, did you not pay the, like, $20 when you got here? I ended up getting a regular EKG, a 24-hour-long EKG, a blood test, and a freaking checkup for $20. Best part of this entire situation is that I am getting better and I am getting the medical attention I need without going broke.
This one time that made you realize.
Okay, yeah, I know. I feel like we talked about this before in the other video where somebody had said something about like healthcare. Now, healthcare for the U.S., I feel like it's straight trash. Like,
you know that.
Yeah, like literally, her paying $20 to be able to get everything done is upsetting because I know how much money like we have to pay for healthcare or not even be able to afford healthcare. Like I'm saying, it's upsetting, like because we're saying the U.S.
No,
you know
I mean, yeah, it's that, and then it's the fact that like we don't really get all the options we can that would help us or benefit us. For example, stem cells are illegal, and a lot of people travel
abroad.
Yeah, travel abroad to get stem cells in either any place, shoulder stuff, so it can regenerate their body tissue or whatever body. So we already know America don't care about us in a whole lot of different ways.
I agree.
I mean, that's something we can agree on.
That America really messed you up.
I pride myself on being an American. I didn't make it out before COVID, but I went to Norway and I fell in love with Norway. I read about it, researched it, and I was like, I've got to visit first. And I only went for a week, and it was for the Inferno Metal Festival. And for the first time in my life, I was actually called an American. They didn't assume where I was from. And there was this beautiful Norwegian elder, and she says, "God påske." And I said, "Beklager, jeg snakker litt norsk." And I said, basically, she said, "Happy Easter." And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't speak a lot of Norwegian." And she goes, "Oh, you're an American." And she didn't worry about her purse. She didn't look at me sideways. And I cried. I cried when I left because for the first time, I was able to be just an American. I didn't even hardly drink, didn't do anything crazy.
Wait, bestie, don't press that skip button. Are you ready to earn your psychology degree?
Now the ones it's some stories on here that I believe and and I can truly feel, but there's other stories on here is either like some of them I don't believe, but other ones it's just like it's their perspective that made it like bad in their own way. You get what I mean? And I know it's all in our own perspectives. That's the whole point of this compilation. Yeah. But you can really see it, and obviously y'all don't know me, y'all don't know her and everything like that. But I'm the type of person that like to look at everybody else's perspectives and everything, So I don't judge like that. I can roast people and stuff, try to have fun, but at the same time, I don't like it. I don't know. It's just.
I feel like maybe she needs to give more context as to like maybe her backstory of like why she felt the way she felt just from that woman saying that and why she cried. Yeah. Like I think I need more information on that point.
Was she saying white people clutch their purse when she be around in America, or is it when she be in a different country other than Norwegian?
We don't know.
Yeah,
that's my part. Where it's like, and I mean, if y'all have seen other stuff from her and like there's more details other than this small clip that we saw, then let us know.
You're an American currently living abroad. What is one time that made you realize that America really...
So during the first lockdown, we have an elderly neighbor and we would go and check in on her every once in a while and like get her groceries if she needed. And progressively, she started not be able to breathe very well. And we knew it wasn't COVID because she had it before. But like at one point it was like she couldn't even get to the door without like literally not being able to breathe and having to sit down. So my partner decided that we needed to call an ambulance for her and get her to the hospital pronto. And when he told me that he was going to call an ambulance, the first thing that I said was, "Are you sure? Can she afford an ambulance? Like we could just drive her." And it wasn't until my partner looked at me like, and that it clicked that, oh, that's not a worry here. And then I went upstairs and cried because it really smacked me in the face that as Americans, we are conditioned to not worry about someone's health first, but to worry about whether or not they can financially afford to see a doctor and get help.
An American currently living abroad, what is one time that made you realize that America really messed you?
So I moved to Germany in 2018 as a study abroad student, and I had a nice apartment that was on the ground floor with a nice patio, a big door that opened that led to the patio, And I was minding my own business in bed one day. The door was wide open. I had my noise-canceling headphones on, and I heard these really loud banging noises coming from outside that weren't very far. And I'm like, that's not a firework or a firecracker. It can't be. I freak out because as an American, I'm like, I'm about to get shot. Somebody is shooting up all of the student apartments right now. So I call all of my friends and I'm like, did you hear that? Am I crazy? Do we need to call the police and whatever? And they're like, I don't know, but yeah, maybe call your boyfriend who's German and like ask him. So I call my boyfriend and I'm like, watching, we just heard this stuff, like what's going on? And he's like, not to worry, here in Germany we don't have shooters. Those are probably just firecrackers. And I'm just like, I'm damaged. Like, we are all damaged and freaking out about freaking firecrackers. We think we're gonna get shot up.
What is one time that made you realize that America really messed you up?
Hey, I live in Ireland and I've lived most of my adult life here. I moved to Ireland in 1995. My teenage daughter was born here many years ago, and when she was born, I spent 2 nights in hospital before she was born. I had an emergency cesarean section, and then I spent a further 6 nights afterwards. The total cost to me was $0. I kept asking them, like, are you sure no one wants my credit card? Like, do you want my details so you can send me the bill? And they would just like laugh, like, oh, you're American. There's no bill. So 8 nights in hospital, emergency procedure, $0 bill.
American currently living abroad.
Now that's the one I would have been surprised about. Now that's the one.
Really messed you up.
Yeah, because you know how much it fucking costs for somebody to have a baby in the hospital? They be charging them like thousands of dollars, which is like insane in itself.
Okay, I have another one. When I was studying in Spain, we had our orientation the first week of classes, and our program director sat us all down and had to explain our health insurance to us and how it worked. And basically it worked that you paid like €1,000 for the semester and you got health insurance, like free health insurance for everything, covered everything. And she had to sit us down, and she had this big group of Americans in a room, and she was like, listen, if you are sick, go to the doctor. And we were all like, yes. And she was like, no, like, Americans don't go to the doctor. You won't go to the doctor when you're sick. So I have to tell you every year to do this, and still kids will just put off going to the doctor because you're used to just like pushing through illness. No matter what it is, I don't care if it's a cold, go to the doctor. And she had to actually like spell that out for us.
What's a really weird thing that your body does that you're not sure anybody else's body does?
Since I was a little kid, I've been able to do this with my hands.
Basically, yeah, they switched it up on.
Yeah, they like in the previous video, if you want to take a look. Okay, so we actually did end up finishing this video for you guys, surprisingly. I enjoyed the first part that we saw, and this one. The main thing I feel like I've gotten out of it is like, obviously the healthcare system is totally different in the U.S. compared to other countries, as well as like gun laws, which we all know about that too. We've talked about that before. And then it seems like in certain circumstances, the way people are treated. That's one key point that it seemed like a couple people kept stating.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as you.
Yeah.
And the fact that I feel like a few of them might have been like them they just wanted to do a TikTok to be, you know, a part of the group. Let's not act like people don't do it.
Yeah, that's true. I agree.
But yeah, I do agree with you. So that's
Yeah, well, we'll wrap up, you guys. Obviously, let us know what you think about this video and recommend other videos for us to react to.
Well, we did about 9 videos today.
Yeah, we have.
Jeez.
We did it on this channel and on our other channel. And then I did see some of the comments from the previous one we did where you guys recommended some videos. So just keep doing that and make sure you follow us on other social media platforms. The link will be in the description down below. We're gonna be posting more stuff on all of our channels. That includes YouTube as well as TikTok and Instagram. So y'all stay tuned for what we have in store for y'all. On that note, we'll head out.
Peace.
Bye.